Hey everybody, happy Image Comics Day, 25th anniversary this year, 2017 for Image comic books. Let's go through it and see how I became a geek. It started way back when I was a kid. Yes, this is my high school jacket. It started way back in 1977 when I started collecting. I was also the quarterback. Comic books back then. And I'd like to say that my friends, let me show you my dear friends that I still have hanging on my wall. Some of you guys have seen my office. Here's my office full of stuff. And look at this garbage, right? But I've got my favorite photo right here. This photo right here represents February 1st, 1992. This is where we went to Mark Silvestri. We went to his house in Malibu, California. And we all came and we had to bring the idea of what was going to be our first comic books. So Jim Valentino right here brought Shadowhawk. Mark Silvestri talked to us about Cyberforce. Big Bad Todd had Spawn, that was his love of his life since he was a little kid. Rob Liefeld with Youngbloods. Eric Larson right here with the Dragon. And Jim Lee down here did Wildcats, right? And that was the start of it. A few months later, we all did our comic books, and we all came out. Mine came out June 2nd. June 2nd, 1992. And this was the book. Some of you may have it. Not very good lighting here. Look at that. I even got one graded somebody gave me, a 9.8. But this was it. Spawn #1, right? And to put it in perspective, this is the issue that just came out. This is Spawn issue 270. And if you go down at the bottom, you can see the future comic books, 25 years. Now, let's just sort of put this into perspective. All right, I did a little bit of math. If you do a book a month, since there's 12 months, and you do 12 books times 20 years, I know we're talking about 25 years, but let's just make it simple for you. 12 books a year, one a month for 20 years, you get up to 240 issues. I'm up to 270. So if anybody tells you there's a short way to get up to those numbers, it takes decades, literally decades. And here's also what happens is that the ravages of time come, because look how cute I used to be. Look at that little guy, Toddy. This is a photo from June 2nd, 1992. I went to California. I was living in Oregon, and this was my very first signing and the very first day that Spawn came out. This was the day Spawn came out for the first time, and there were some fans there, right? Here's another one. Look at how sassy I looked that day. Look at this one. Oh, yeah, Todd, look at that youngster. Look like Tom Hanks, but look at the hairdo, right? I used to go get it permed, right? They used to call me Pubes McFarlane, right? I created this cool logo and made the shirt right here. I got the jeans. I got the stonewashed jeans. Here I was. Oh, this is the one I've told you before. I went and did my first signing, and on my first signing, this is still at the store. This is that same day. I brought my daughter. Again, my wife and I have no recollection as to why she made me bring my 3-month-old daughter to the signing, because I had to hold her the whole time I was signing, but she was there. This is John Singleton. John Singleton is, at that point, was a very, 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 very hot director. He had just done a movie called Boys in the Hood that had got nominated, I think, for a couple Academy Awards with Cuba Gooding Jr. and Lawrence Fishburne and Ice Cube and you might remember Ice Cube from Straight Outta Compton, one of the boys there. Again, later in the day when I was signing at the store, they brought a funny car. This is what that is down in the corner of my first funny car. We used to use it at the shows as a big prop. So here we were out at Melrose Avenue, and this thing stretched literally around the block. It was a true blockbuster. As time went by, I ended up getting another funny car, right? This is a little bit later at San Diego. But look at this funny car, right? Half the side of the funny car I used to bring around was splattered, white splattered blood, like you'd hit a deer at 100 miles an hour. Look at that, it's awesome. And then the other side was black with flames and chains on the other side. And so I used to get people to actually go and look at both sides and vote which one they wanted. And I kept pretending I was going to make it like one paint job. I never did. I just wanted people to look at it twice as long, right? Look at Toddy. Look at you looking good, dude. From that same show, probably. This was me here. Look at that. I got my big goofy white hat. Right? Look at how goofy I look. Oh. I made my little shirts back then with some of the artwork. And here's another picture of John Singleton giving me some kind of award. I may even still have it here. And me holding my daughter. Now, to show you how much 25 years are, my daughter, right here, her name is Cyan. Miss Cyan was what we call the first Image baby, right? And the first Image baby, because she was born just when we started Image comic books. So the first Image baby, just to put it in perspective, is now, it's cover Todd, is now, this was her graduating from university. She's now in her 3rd year of med school. So she's been going to school for almost 8 years now. So somebody who's now 8 years into college, that was her. And I've been doing sort of goofy comic books ever since. So I'd like to say thank you to, I don't know if this works, I'd like to say thank you to all my partners at that time. Wolf Portacio helped us there that very first day before he decided to go on a different direction. And Jim Lee, who's not with us, Rob Liefeld. And we're going to be having a gathering in Seattle for any of you people that want to come here, I believe, next month, celebrating it in a bigger way amongst the public. But I appreciate you coming out. And I'll be showing the rest of the year a bunch of goofy stuff about the 25th anniversary and why we got there. And we'll be making some big announcements about some Hollywood stuff in the future. Be good and out, and say goodbye to Pubes McFarlane. Done.